Yeah.
Oh my God. Now wait a second. We just got to get some. Carol and Catherine, where are you in the world?
Deerfield.
Where?
Deerfield.
Deerfield.
Catherine's
Oh.
living at home while she's been commuting to Lake Forest. Well, remote now, but she was commuting to Lake
So
Forest.
she commutes to the bedroom to.
Where's Nancy?
She does.
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, you're where you always are.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
I'm always in Colorado.
How long have you been in Colorado?
Hey,
Since
Carol,
Where's the other sister?
46 years.
46 years.
Good
Yes.
God. You don't look
Yeah.
a day over 39.
No,
Exactly.
actually,
neither do you.
I
Thank
think Carol, didn't you go with Karen to the health club when they visited in Deerfield?
When Anna and her sister Karen and I drove across, we did go to a health club. But
And I
Lori
think
was part of that. But Carol, were you there then?
I was there. I did not go. I don't remember going to a health club, but I remember when you guys came through. I've got pictures of.
And then we went to some kind of.
They went to the health club where Catherine worked there.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
SAC multiplex, Deerfield Courts, or whatever it was called back then.
I don't know what it was
Catherine
called.
couldn't have been alive then. What are we talking about?
No, she wasn't.
It was
No.
1980. It was 1984.
She,
Yeah.
yeah,
It was
She-
older
Well,
than
it was
she
some time ago, and I know you guys have bad memories. I'm probably the only one that can.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
True.
By the way, I wanted to ask Porter.
Yeah.
Who, and if I understand, I can't keep the family straight.
Okay.
Is Bruno one of Sally's other kids?
No.
By a different marriage.
Bruno, well,
Porter's
I keep
adopted.
seeing the name Bruno. I said, who the heck is Bruno?
well, we've almost adopted him, but he's actually not a Blackburn yet. He started out as a tech support guy at a local Staples. When Dad needed help, he became Dad's almost
Go-to guy.
yeah, and he was a godsend because when Dad's vision, for example, started slipping, Bruno was the guy that I would pay to bring Dad ever in, larger and larger monitors.
Yeah.
And he's such a dependable guy that when we realized we had got to scan hundreds and hundreds of photos that Dad had stashed away, Bruno's the scanning guy. And then with Linda, I knew he had a great bedside manner, and I hope, was he good? Was he helpful to you, Linda, when Bruno helped?
He was great.
Yeah, he's got a great bedside manner. So he was the go-to guy. I said, can you help out my cousin Linda? And he said,
did.
absolutely.
Yeah, I
He
almost
said no,
didn't
not
get
for an
on.
extra
That's how good he was.
Yeah. But he's a great dude. I mean, I would,
Yeah, he's
for
nice.
anybody.
non-family.
Yep. He's
So
incredible.
wasn't he babysitting Sally's kids for a while too?
Yeah,
God, I don't know. But
Or
I was,
walking the dogs or something?
I don't know.
when I first plugged him in with Sally, I was concerned. I texted her. I said, "Was he okay?" Because he's in the house alone with her, and he said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah, he's great." But I mean, it was a complete non-issue. But she basically said, "Yeah." In fact, he's also the guy who's been put in charge of keeping Dad's computer alive, even though Dad's gone, because Dad essentially stored huge amounts of information on his computer. So again, it's Bruno.
And he's also scanning photos. He's making digital copies of your dad's.
Yeah, the trips, these are from the 1970s. Dad took pretty good care of them. They're very old school photo scrapbooks.
Yeah.
And I've seen one, and I've seen one of their wedding pictures. And he told me he said, "Let me be frank with you. This is a huge amount of scanning." And I said, "Don't worry, you're going to get paid." And he said, "Okay," but I can tell it's a lot of work. But so far, they're pretty good. They're really.
You can, Porter. I think you can take. I guess you don't want to deconstruct those albums. I guess because you could take the photos into some service that would scan them all quickly. I think on a more massive.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
will you probably come across all those pictures that Jim took of himself with something up his nose all over the entire universe. He had trees up his nose. He had like a nose series.
He had a nose job. He had a nose job.
Remember?
I don't know, but
Oh,
it's not going to surprise me because the amount of detail. Sally's basically been coming across stuff. She says, "You're not going to believe what I found on Dad's computer." Like she found, it's just a bunch of stuff. I mean, I
he
just
sent me pictures of. I was in Jim and Jenny's wedding, and so was Bob. Jay, you were too, right?
Which
Remember, I
one?
was a small child.
yeah, I think I saw a few of those.
Yeah, she sent me quite a few of those. And she sent me some really nice photos of the three of you, Jim and you and Mom, in bathing suits.
Yeah.
Is that what you wore
I
to
don't
Jim's
know
wedding?
how-
You guys wore bathing suits to Jim's wedding? What's the story there?
Yeah, they were all in bathing suits somewhere. I don't know what era.
Well, Linda, do you have any pictures of us climbing up and down that whale?
You
Remember?
know, I think Hale got those. We lost Hale.
I don't think
Hurricane.
I don't think they had cameras in those days, did they?
That was the dunes, remember?
Newport Dunes. Yeah, we
Newport
figured out the
Dunes.
last chap, the Newport Dunes. One of our favorite places to go. And Jay got stuck with all the kids, I think, while
Yeah.
the
Well,
other parents were like, forget it. Let's
I
get the-
climbed up and down that whale for about 4 hours there, and I couldn't hardly move that night.
No.
I think we were playing tag or something.
Nancy, do you have any actual memories of that, or just the stories that you were the
She's just
patient zero with the?
quarantined.
I remember being in the bedroom and resenting that I didn't get to do anything fun.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's
you
it.
didn't get to go? Didn't we go to Disneyland too? Or was there a whole bunch of?
I didn't do
California-
You didn't
anything.
get to go anywhere.
No wonder you're in Colorado. You said, I'm
But
never
he
going back
gave
to-
me a pop gun, but that was it.
A pop gun.
Yes, that's all I remember.
Well,
Well-
Jay, I think I'm gonna sooner or later through Bruno, I'm gonna be getting my hands on some pretty classic photos, and I bet you're gonna be in a few of them. So I'll be sending them to
Jay?
you. To Jay, yeah.
Well, I was going to say, what are you going to do with all of Bruno's work?
Well, the European trips were such a big deal to Mom and Dad. I just want to keep them alive, so to speak. And when we do the service in 2021, I'll kind of break it into little sections, you know, keeping it really concise. I want to try and find one photo that really captures the fun factor that they had, because the way it's shaken out right now, you'll go through like 50 photos, like some professional photographer took shots of stuff, and they're not in any of them. But then like the 50th photo will have them. And then Dad had this weird habit of, in his special penmanship, he'll write a little one-liner, like he'll poke fun at his pants. And so it's classic. It's like me getting to relive Dad's funny jokes and
Can you share the pants photo with us right now?
yeah. Now
Bring it up and screen share. That's all.
let me see if you guys talk amongst yourselves. Let me see if I can find it.
I did
Okay.
this in class.
Well, I don't think we can, Boris.
Routine, man. Come on, get with it.
All right. I'll be back. I'm gonna dig.
Oh, good.
So,
You're
so
the master.
Linda, tell them where you are in the world.
Yeah, you
World?
tell me about Arizona, Linda.
That's right, Jay. I'm not too far from Wickenburg, where you used to go and rough ride.
That's right, Rancho de los Caballeros. I remember it well.
Actually, I think I'm about 47 miles from Wickenburg and about 50 miles from Prescott.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm in Nowheresville.
And let me tell you, there's nothing to do there. I've been.
No, I've been social distancing for 7 years.
so
Seriously.
you really haven't caught anything, huh?
No, I haven't.
She hasn't even had a cold. And
A couple mice.
What are you doing there? Do you like it there? How'd you end up there?
Well, I had a friend.
Witness
I don't
protection.
have him anymore. He drank too much, and he was my friend from junior high school, and his mother bought a place out here. It was much cooler 20 years ago or so. And then I met another guy who is here with me, and I moved out here from California, and I miss parts of California, but it's so peaceful here. It's very, it's beyond peaceful.
Well, now, Linda, the last conversation that I had with Jim, I said, what's going on with Linda? And he said, well, she's going to sell her place in Arizona and she's going back to the house she was in with Rickman.
I remember Rick.
And she's going to throw him out of the house. Now, is that true, or what's true and what's false?
Okay, here's what's true. When I moved out here, I already had this house, and I left Rick when I got divorced from him in Brea, California, and
And you retired. We should insert here after 24 years at the court.
I was tired.
Not you weren't tired. You retired.
I was tired too, but what happened is I left Rick in the house, and now I can't.
Was he tied up or what?
He was bound and gagged, and so she left him.
Yeah, a horrible
better
gang
that
of
way.
thugs got him. But here's what really happened. I left him in the house, and then I was going to evict him because I actually own the house. But I felt sorry for him because he had a stroke. So I stopped the eviction, and then came the virus, and there's a moratorium on.
But the eviction is still in the back of your brain, right?
Yeah, yeah.
She's got it in her back pocket. She can pull that
What?
fiction out.
Yeah, I never can be very mean, and what happens is I start feeling sorry for him. But I've paid half of the mortgage for almost 8 years now, so I think he's had a pretty good deal there.
Yeah. Did he buy you those earrings?
No, you did.
Oh, good for me.
Good for me.
Who's controlling that guy's mic?
Hey, Linda, I have
Put him on
to
mute.
they're looking for memory stories. Tell me if you remember this one when Rickman was working in his garage, and he decided to go into business where he's going to carve these little wooden statues.
Right. Yeah.
And so Jim thought that was a great idea, and so he's going to be his marketing manager.
Yeah.
So he gets all these pictures together for a brochure to sell at different shows and things. And all of all of Rickman's statues turned out having a pointed head. We used to call them Jim's cone heads. But nobody would tell Jim, except I think Dorth said something to him one time, and he got really mad that we were saying his pictures made everybody have a pointed head.
So it wasn't the carvings, it was Jim's pictures.
Huh?
Yeah, Jim had a way of distorting the pictures.
Oh,
And he did it. He was nice enough to come out and spend hours. He got along great with Rick, which was, well, remember you invited him to Sally's first wedding. Do you remember that?
I did.
Yeah, we were on the driveway and you said to Rick, don't you want to go to the wedding? And Rick said, no. And he
Oh yeah, I remember that. He was pretty direct, I'll say that for him.
That's kind of subtle.
Well,
You let him down gently.
yeah.
well, is he mobile from the stroke?
Is he what?
Is he mobile, agile, hostile?
Well, he's not mobile. He has a dead truck in his garage in his driveway.
The stroke.
You mean, can he
How did this-
drive? Is that
Wait, did the
question?
stroke affect his truck or him?
His
Oh,
truck
both
had
of
his
them,
truck had a
both of
stroke,
them.
and also people don't realize
Both of
that.
them.
Well, I'm
What is-
just wondering if you're waiting for him to recover from the stroke to throw him out.
Well, at this point, I don't care if he recovers from the stroke, but you know,
Harsh.
I think he
Oh.
has. It was a mild stroke.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, then let him down easy.
Hey, do you guys want to? You guys want to see these photos of my dad now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, here we. I'm gonna see if I can pull it off here.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring him out here.
Um,
And he-
yeah, 2-degree weather. I'm out. I'm there. Can you guys see this? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I come.
Oh, yeah. I see.
I'm gonna I'm gonna blow him up. Yeah. So I just by looking at this, I completely forgot he had a style of he can't leave it in love. He can't leave a photo alone. He's got to put in a little observation. So here's this photo. Let me know if you guys can see this.
How do I make it bigger?
I'm gonna make it bigger for you.
Oh, good.
How about that?
You might have to enlarge it. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Wow,
That's
look at those pants.
Yeah.
good. Woo, plaid pants.
He's like something out of Saturday Night Live, you know, or something with these really.
Czechoslovakian brother.
Yeah, he's so he's good. So what he would do, and Bruno brought this up to me, is Bruno would say, "Hey, looks like your dad would have a photo," and then he'd go back into it and put a little comment like this.
Whose pants are those?
And so Bruno's basically he's like super courteous dude. He's like saying, "Hey, do you want both versions?" And I said, "Yeah, for now." I mean, I'm thinking, what if he did this to like 2,000 photos? But I like it because it's his humor, and he always wrote. He couldn't stand cursive, so he'd always print like this.
Yeah.
So it just reminds me of him, his humor and his penmanship. And and then here's
They didn't teach penmanship.
here he is again. He's denying. He's following up on the theme of the pants.
Yeah, he's obsessed with the pants.
And
He just rented those pants.
Yeah,
and here he is.
That's a good
someone
thing.
else is wearing them.
Yeah. So I like these because it's like total full on happiness. And my mom was sick forever. And this is before all her illnesses really ran her life. So that's really why a big reason why I want him is that to me there's some when they're like again posing together, and I gotta just wait for Bruno. He's just working through them on his own. So that's all. That's the furthest I got.
That's a good picture there.
Yep.
Very good. Very good.
And do you guys remember my dad's business partner, John Vogt? Anybody?
Yes,
I
yes,
remember.
yes.
I remember John did.
Okay. Well, she's still alive. That sounds really morbid to say that, but
Boy,
out of the blue, I just cold called her, and she goes, "Oh, hi, Porter." I mean, she hadn't talked to me for like 30 years, and I said, "Would you mind digging through your photos?" And she found some really classic photos of my dad shaking hands at these business affairs. It's like two classic executives. It's almost funny. So that's another. So then she wrote me a note. She says, "You're not going to believe this, Porter, but I think I threw away most of the photos when John died." So that was a loss.
I just want to point out that maybe those weren't your dad's pants. Maybe the guy behind him. He borrowed them from him.
yeah,
This guy.
Yeah.
I think he's
Check his-
got him.
Check his pants out.
Anyway, I'm going to go back to you guys. It's more fun. There we go.
So who else has got a good story?
That was. Oh, I knew. Oh, I
Gerald,
think.
the caller from
You
Deerfield.
remember when?
It's the caller there.
But
Can you see this?
I don't know.
Yeah, but we
if you
can't read
guys
it. Hold,
knew
hold a little
that,
closer to the plaque.
Catherine came
Bill,
out
please.
there
Catherine,
to.
you will always be the winner in my team level. Oh.
He said Catherine went out for water polo training. She was supposed to stay for the summer with a family out there, but decided not to stay. And came back home, and shortly after we got back, she felt bad about it, and she's happy with her decision, but shortly after we got home, we got this in the mail from Jim.
Put a little inscription on the bottom, Carol.
Yeah, they read it.
I never got anything like.
Oh, you didn't see it?
Tell us.
Can you see the
Oh, you
inscription?
never got something like that.
Maybe Linda did.
No, he was
Talk
busy.
about from Uncle Jim. Like a
He
get out.
did all the, I don't know if you know this, he did all the brochures. He got me ballpoint pen, well, they weren't ballpoint, but they were nice pens with my name on it, all from my real estate career that lasted about 2 months. And he did the whole thing. You know, he just did tablets. He went crazy. Do you remember that, Scott? It was in the, right before I started at the court.
Linda, did you ever get the impression that Dad lived on his computer, maybe logging 12 hours a day at the email?
Yes, because when I went over there, he was on his computer.
I know he's never off it. He's just
No.
I think he had a sleeping bag underneath the table where his computer was, the tower was.
Well, I think at the end there, or almost, didn't he sleep in that bedroom with the computer?
I don't know, but last time I saw him, he was in his bathrobe, and it was sort of like the Howard Hughes effect. And he had a gigantic monitor because of the glaucoma. But I thought, man, this guy, he logs the hours. And Sally sent me some letter where he told her one day that he got insulted. Somebody at his company said, hey, you're sort of an old timer. You're not up to speed on computers. And he took that as a challenge, you know, like, oh, I'll show you. And I think he bought a computer shortly after that. That must have been really close to when he was retiring in the 90s.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
But I remember
I always thought Jim had it a little tough after he retired there, that I think he spent about the first 2 years after he retired doing those genealogies. You remember those?
Yeah.
Right.
You
Yeah.
got the books.
For
got
every
those
member of the
books.
family practically. And then of course Ginny got sick and he was kind of her caretaker for, I don't know, 8 or
He was
9
doing
years.
spreadsheets on her medicines always.
right.
Yeah.
He did a lot of work on her medications.
Yeah, he had all that on his computer, and so he had it pretty rugged there.
Yeah.
So he was. So Linda, I have a question for you. Do you think it would ever be possible to do like a deep dive into the history of Dorothy and Hale, or is that like lost archives? Would you say?
I know quite a bit about Dorothy and Hale.
Yeah.
But then when Hale and Dorothy divorced in I guess it was 64.
Mm-hmm.
Then we kind of lost track of Hale as much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to go up to, where'd we go, Scott? Up north to where he was living?
Los Gatos.
Yeah.
We didn't take to our stepmother too well.
And we got to hit the golf ball into that. You remember? He had one of those things that caught the golf ball because
A practice net for doing.
But Dorothy, Jay knows probably. I mean, I know a lot about Dorothy. I know a lot about Bommy. You know, Bommy always came and rescued me when I was in a board and care place, and I spent a long time listening to Bommy's stories.
Years.
Too long. All right.
Literally years.
I know she was a big fan of the Merv Griffin show.
Oh, she was, yeah.
Yeah, I like to have a pack of cigs and barbecued Fritos, and I mean, and a beer.
Yeah, it was a Bergie.
Exactly. I want that lifestyle. I mean, no word. Fire up the TV, get a smoke, get your Fritos and a beer.
She had right, and she also didn't she?
I want to take up smoking, is what I mean.
Yeah, she painted her nails every night, and she smoked is it Pall Mall?
Terrytons.
Terrytons. Okay.
Yeah, come on.
And switch. And then
Remember,
she,
yes, that's it. Fight the switch.
she had a burger, and then she had like Fritos or something. in it.
Barbecued Fritos.
It's called trailer trash hors d'oeuvres.
Linda, I came out to visit her after my dad died, and she was living in that trailer home or whatever it was. And
Yes, it was the coach.
I remember
Alice.
going over the
Double wide.
I opened the refrigerator and there was nothing in there but Reese's peanut butter cups and a six pack.
See, that's the lifestyle.
Could
I
live
said,
that way.
no wonder she lived so long.
Yeah, she did. Well,
All
she,
main food groups were covered.
huh?
And the TV was always breaking down.
Right.
Oh,
be-
yeah.
It could be the most futuristic, up-to-date TV, and then the phone would ring. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
Dad's
it
going
did.
over to see Mommy again. That stupid
Yeah, it
TV.
Well, I
Well-
remember a famous quote from Bonnie when she was really a couple of years before she died, and she told me, "Well, I got to tell you, Linda, it finally happened." I said, "What happened?" "I got caught between a curb and a trash truck."
Oh, the DeSoto. Let's not remember that car.
Yeah, that was a
with the
great
push
car.
button.
I remember that.
That was a nice car.
Push
Oh, yeah.
button
Well, the other
transmission.
thing, Linda, you remember she was in that nursing home there for a while, and I went to visit her, and she said all these landscapers were around the place, doing whatever they do. And she said, "Look at this." I said, "What?" And she says, "The Japanese are invading again." Oh, they were all Japanese. She thought it was World War III.
Little blood circulation issue.
Well, she used to cook food. Oh, here's a great one if you haven't heard this one. When I lived on Balcom in Fullerton with Lisa for a while, when we were still pals, and Bonnie called up and she says, "Linda, I'm not sure, but I think Jack got a flight out to Chicago." Jack had been dead for about 10 years. And so I called Dorth and I said, "Mom, Bonnie thinks Jack got a flight out to Chicago." And Mom says, "I hate to tell her, he's a lot further than Chicago." That was her reaction.
Well, didn't she towards the end, Linda, didn't she go across to the neighbors and had her clothes and said, "I'm moving in
Yeah.
with boys"?
And she had a crush on a 35-year-old mechanic.
Scott, did you have a question? You're starting a question a minute ago, or nothing? Okay.
Just enjoying all this.
Yeah.
Only comment I have similar to that. I had one experience where I was seeing her in the trailer, and she said, "Porter, come here. I want to show you something." I said, "Okay." And she said, she points to a pillow. She says, "That pillow's talking to me." And I go, "Really? Oh, okay." And I just didn't pursue it any further, but I knew something.
You didn't ask her what the pillow said or what it wanted. Come on. What's it say? Buy
It's
more
not
Oreo.
bad.
I'm not judgmental like that. I just let it go.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that was
That's why you're still repeating it.
no, it was no, that was, I thought, man, that's kind of out there. That's weird. But it sounds like there were more episodes. I wasn't present when that was kicking in.
I think it was at that stage when Dorth called me in Chicago and said, you got to come out here." I said, "Why?" And said, this was after she tried to move in with the next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Said, "We got to do something with Mama." I said, "Well, where's Jim?" He said, by the way, this was
He's fixing the TV.
every time I came to visit, I say, "Where's Jim?" He said, "He's in Oxnard." I said, there's no place called Oxnard.
That was his favorite town to disappear to. And talk, I'm in Oxnard. I'll get back to you.
Oxnard.
Yeah.
It's like
Where's Jim?
Lodi.
I came out there about 6 times, and each time I said, "Where's Jim?" He went to Oxnard. And I said, "Does he find out I'm coming out here? Is that what's happening?" But anyway, Anyway, we
I'm in needles.
we rented a U-Haul
Yeah.
and we moved all our clothes over to that place. What a time.
Baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trailer park, a Blackburn and trailer in a trailer park. That's a killer combination.
Yeah, right.
She's talking about who's a bitch. That was another one of her themes.
Yeah.
The woman she'd say, "Oh, there's this woman down there in her trailer. She's a bitch."
Oh, yeah.
You know, could be anybody.
I think we're all fighters.
If you're having a slow day, you just pick out somebody that you label them a bitch.
The famous Bommy line was, I want to talk to the manager. Tell him you want to talk to the manager. Get me the manager. So if you were trained by Mom as well. If you ever had any trouble with him, you'd ask for the manager.
I didn't understand that, Scott.
Well, you go to the top. You don't listen to some lowly clerk tell you no. I
Oh,
want to speak to the manager. You demand immediately.
right.
I've never done it, but I know it's done.
I inherited that gene.
So
Linda,
Oh, go
Linda,
ahead.
You're not
Jeff.
going to believe this, but when I took passed out and took the spill here and ended up in the hospital, you know who I heard from? Guess who I heard from? Paul. Paul wrote me a long text and he was commiserating about losing Jim and also about my fall. And then he told me he knew everything about the hospitals because he worked in surgery for 10 years or something.
Must be tired.
I haven't heard from him in 20 years.
Jay, that long text is because he uses the dictation through text, where he babbles nonstop because I think he's afraid it's going to shut down. So
Yeah.
he includes every single thing he can think of. And these texts are miles long. It's just
So were the emails.
Well,
all
he actually didn't he use his cell oxygen equipment and that's why he was in surgery?
He was an inhalation therapist.
But then he went and started selling the equipment that they used, and so he would then have to sit in and teach him how to use it in the operating room. That's what that experience
He had the
was.
world's largest territory. It was 5 states, Jay.
Yeah.
But that's what you do too, Porter. You go into
Not 5 states. That's killer. That's exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, he needs his own private jet to cover 5 states. I mean, he told me the whole thing. I was tired just listening to it.
Problem was he had a boat, so he couldn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
Mom used to hate that boat, remember? Mom used to say, that's Paul's floating bar.
is
Yeah, he
Brooks
liked-
and
liked
Paul,
straight.
do Brooks and Paul live in the same town now or?
No.
Not really. They're about 20 minutes apart though. They're not far apart, but they don't meet up more than a couple times a year, I don't think.
Are they members of the Antifa up there or? No.
Yeah. Brooks is sporting blackface now. He goes out. Sorry.
Right.
Tasteless. I'm sorry. I take that back. Just a cheat comedy. No, Brooks is in a community. His community almost had to evacuate during the recent
He's
flood.
in a trailer somewhere.
No,
Oh,
he's out camping. That's his getaway thing. But his kids are all at home too. One, actually, his youngest lives in Glasgow, Scotland. She's married to a Scotsman, so drinking good whiskey, I think. And the other 2 are staying at home with him and Pat.
oh, really?
But Paul's in more, not downtown, but he's a little more urban to Portland. And
He's very lonely right now.
yeah, Paul's
Well,
both
I
his
didn't remember if Paul had a bunch of kids or not. Did he?
In Costa
they're
Rica.
not his.
No kids?
No,
No,
he has.
a dog.
You go ahead, Linda.
These are like
Yeah,
Jerry
the dog-
Springer questions now. We got to be careful.
Okay,
Fighting.
be careful. Paul has a daughter in Costa Rica, and she's been there, forever.
For a long time, and she has kids. But she was from his first sort of mistaken
Yeah.
marriage right out of the army, and and that didn't last but a few minutes. So there's a child from
Few
that,
minutes, yes.
and
Yeah.
then has an adopted son from his
Oh,
third.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
He thinks it's his real son.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean, he's more like his real son than
Yeah.
his.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't he was in a home recovering from knee surgery or something, wasn't he? Just
He was
recently.
put into a skilled nursing facility after he had double knee surgery, a replacement
Okay.
on one, and then I don't know what they did. They tuned up the old one, so he couldn't do
They
anything.
cut off both his legs.
He didn't have a leg to stand on.
Thank
I
you.
don't know. Cornball.
So there, Jay, you know, they could get to each other in a 20-minute drive, but they don't meet up. I think Paul went over there 4th of July, maybe something like. No, that's wrong. I'm imagining that. It was like
Christmas.
Thanksgiving. Sorry, it was a year ago.
Oh, I thought it was Christmas.
Okay. maybe.
See, there's something that was passed down from Hale, I think. What's his name? Scott just said just 20 minutes away. I remember visiting out there, and whenever we'd mention going to somewhere, Hale would always say, "Yeah, let's go." And I said, "Well, how long does it take?" He's 20 minutes. "Well, let's go to San Francisco. How long? 20 minutes.
Okay. I have-
Everything in California is 20 minutes away from Hale.
Now it's an
well,
hour.
Pretty true, but do you remember the jaunt that you made with Dorothy in the car? You were down at Jim and Jenny's, and he swore to Jim Blackburn. Well, Blackburn's your name too, but she swore to Jim Blackburn that you got from Newport Beach to Placentia, where she lived, in 7 minutes.
Not quite, but close
I mean, I don't
probably.
know how you did it.
Well, you had to do that on those freeways to keep from somebody rear-ending you. That's the only way you could do it.
Drive
Well, what
fast.
about, tell me, there's only one missing now. Does anybody ever hear from Lisa?
Yeah, I do, and I will probably go visit her prior to Christmas once my semester ends. She lives in North Carolina in Shelby, which is an hour west of Charlotte.
20 minutes.
Or,
20 minutes
About,
away.
about 20 minutes
or 7 minutes.
if Hale's driving.
And she just had her, I think it was her
I
30th
think that's how
wedding anniversary.
far, I think Jim used to tell me that's how far it was to Oxnard too.
It's so funny you call out that city because so often he was there, and that's a very long drive. There's another town called San Luis Obispo, another weird name.
I had to look it up on a map one time because I was sure as soon as I tipped Dorth off that I was coming to visit, he was headed for Oxnard.
Yeah.
Roxnard.
And,
Well,
Carol,
Linda, one thing more for Linda. Then,
What would you like to know?
Linda, I want to know if it isn't time, Linda. I mean, since my what was his name, Jim? He's not around anymore. Isn't it time for you to go out and get my trophy?
Is your
Oh
trophy,
my God.
is your trophy at Jim's? Because I think that house is sold.
No.
Bruno's looking for it.
Don't you remember? Don't you remember?
Bruno's going to scan it.
Your
When you
trophy?
had your cancer party,
Oh,
and towards
yeah.
the end of the party, you stood up and said, "Now we're going to give some awards to special
You didn't
people."
give one.
And no, wait a minute. Wait till I'm finished. You're stepping on my punchline.
yeah, come
Oh,
on.
no.
You stood up at the speaker and said, "Now I have this trophy," and you did. You had something, and I'm going to give it to my favorite uncle. And I was sitting next to Dorth at the table, so I stood up and started to make my way up there, and she said, "Jim." It was very embarrassing.
Hey,
Well,
poor-
that's because I had switched families.
He switched sides.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, you can go out and get the trophy now. It's okay.
Porter, can
Yes.
you? I've got some photos from that party, Jay, and I've been meaning to send to you and Porter. Can you let me screen share? Do you?
I think you're set up that you can. I think you can do it now.
All right. here we go.
I'll tell you how good my memory is. I remember was it Brooks or Paul? Paul, at the end of the party, was leading a conga line around.
Ah, yes.
Let me show you what Jay's
Who
referring
can
to.
forget that conga line?
Here's Paul
Oh, that's Paul, yeah. there you
leading
go.
the conga line. What does it say on his tag? You know,
It says,
who knows?
geez, who knows?
Here
is
is
that Jim under the blue hair?
no, that's Paul, but Jim had the blue hair.
Oh,
Wait a
that's Paul.
I have-
Okay.
Hang on, I've got more. Where are the
Dad wore that wig too, by the way.
He took it home.
Oh my God. It
Wait.
must be in one of the boxes in Sally's storage room now then.
He
I
took
got
it
more
home.
for you. Wait. Come on, darn it. Let's see if this works.
I remember that blow up. That's at the Veterans of Foreign Wars clubhouse or something,
We
wasn't
like
it?
to refer to it as the VFW.
Oh, there you go. Whoopee.
There he is.
Summer of
Look at
2003.
Jim.
Dorothy, given that
Oh,
her
there's
famous
Doris.
emoji
That's Lin-
smile.
That Linda at the end of there? No.
That is Paula Faris, Jim Ferris's wife. Paula.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Jenny, Jay, Dorothy,
Yeah.
Jim, the siblings.
That was
Was that the cancer party?
Yeah, that was 2003.
That's the one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jim loved that wig.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was
Wow.
better than the pants.
What year was that, Linda?
2003 or late 2002.
No, it was 2003 is the summer. I was
Was
here.
it?
I
Okay.
still
There's,
have the,
there's the
I still
siblings.
have that shirt.
Who's this guy?
What?
Yeah.
That's Jim with the wig.
Yeah.
That's Paul again, now sporting the wig. And
Well, couldn't stop dancing. They wore that fanny pack everywhere.
there's another shot of the crowd. So there you go. I'll share those with you. I'll give them to you, Porter, so you can. Oh, Porter, the host is left. Doing these photos for him, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Schmuck.
He's back.
How dare you leave your post when we're sharing?
Well, I thought for sure I had a little trophy that Linda you gave me once. Remember that from the cancer party?
Well, that's what Jay was talking about, right, Jay? You got-
World's
Well,
greatest,
she gave a trophy to everybody but me.
world's
mean,
greatest cousin, I think it was, or something like that.
I went right home and cut her out of the will.
World's greatest left-handed cousin.
And I'm still out.
Now, if I may ask a question of Carol, what were the years when you were coming through New York and I was seeing you then, that era when you were flying for America?
Oh,
Give me a decade as close.
so I started flying January or March of 1989. So the probably, well, I don't know what, sometime after that, but it was in, I think you were in LA.
I was in LA then, yeah, for
You
sure.
were in LA because it was Les Miserables. You were doing,
I was
you-
miserable. Yeah.
you
Okay.
took me back, you took me backstage.
I believe that's French for the miserable one.
Yeah.
Les Miserables. Okay.
Probably
Well,
81-ish, maybe
91, yeah.
I
somewhere
can
around
tell
there.
you one more thing about Jim. I can remember when Sally was a United stewardess. They didn't call him steward, flight attendant for United Airlines.
Yes.
Right.
And I used to say, what a great deal. I said, tell Jim, you got the same deal I got with Carol now, free travel. And Sally said, no, he's too impatient to go standby. He will not, even if it's
Aw.
free, he won't go standby.
Yeah, Dad got pretty good at dealing with the mobility issue with the airlines. I think he pushed the envelope till it just wasn't feasible any longer for him to fly.
Yeah.
You know, he finally had to get into the groove of the provisional wheelchair, which I thought was. I don't think he was crazy about that. He kind of phased himself out after that, as far
You
as.
mean for Jenny?
And then for himself, yeah, definitely for mom.
To get to the gate, Porter, the wheel.
Yeah.
I think my mom loved that treatment. She thought it was like VIP treatment.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. So I'm going to do it now whenever I travel, just for fun.
Oh, yeah.
I use a wheelchair every chance I get. now
Yeah.
everywhere I
Even
go.
downtown.
Well, you can get through the you can get through
Trader
security
Joe.
line really fast. So.
Oh yeah, you can smuggle all sorts of
Browse.
stuff for security. Too.
I heard that you were caught in Trader Joe, Scott, in a wheelchair trying to steal cashews again. You had them underneath a blanket. You said, "I need a blanket because I just get
Yeah, but I go in during the senior hours, the early senior hours, so it's not a problem.
But the phony beard just doesn't work. That big long beard you wear.
Yeah,
Like-
you're hysterical. You're hysterical.
All right.
Carol, do you still work for American, or when did you quit that joint?
Me? No, I quit in October of 2003. They had put me back on reserve after 9/11. They were laid off so many
Oh yeah,
people.
sure.
So I didn't have anyone to watch the kids for 6 days in a row.
Who
So
has a parent?
I work for Northwestern Medicine now. I'm in scheduling infusions in the hematology oncology department. I schedule infusions.
Cool. So when did you go? Were you? Sorry, that's a small transformer.
So is that the chemo treatments, for example?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Well, everything I schedule hydration, IV antibiotics,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Are you a nurse?
everything. No. I'm the scheduler.
Oh,
So you're not actually administering the.
She's not giving the infusions.
No.
But I bet you could if you wanted to,
Thankfully.
right?
Pardon me?
You could if you wanted to, right?
No. I would not. No.
So when did you go back to the Deerfield area? When was that?
Well, we moved back up here in probably 96, I think it was. And yeah, because you were born in 98. Yeah, I think it was 96.
Uh-huh. And you and Andy aren't together, but is he in that area?
No, he just moved to Bastrop, Texas. But yeah, we've been divorced since 2008, I think.
Pick that up from the last conversation with your dad.
Yeah. Yeah. So he just moved a year ago.
Okay. All right.
All
Nancy,
right.
any questions for us?
What'd you say?
I asked Nancy if she had any questions. She
Oh,
was sitting there.
nope.
I'm trying to space out, but I'm not going to let her.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
have
sorry.
a question.
Well, it's 20 minutes to 5 here, and I just dozed off for a minute.
I have a question. Do you remember who Bommy was in silent movies or a silent movie? Do you know which one? Anybody?
Well,
Oh,
I
the
I
one that-
actually brought that movie up on the iPad not too long ago, but it was with I think it was with Rudolph Valentino,
It
and
was.
I
And
forgot the
I
name of
thought
the
she had
movie.
One line, Jay.
What?
I thought she had one line, and she always said it was a silent movie, but she said, "Here's something for the boys." She always said that.
Yeah,
I've got pictures of her in costumes from that movie.
I don't think it was.
How and why? How did that come about?
She
Well, her first marriage was to a Hollywood director.
Uh-huh.
I did not know that.
I didn't
No,
know that
no
either.
way. I'm saying no way to that.
And then I can't. And then
Here's
I
another
can't
category.
remember his name. I don't remember his name. I guess I never met him.
The nameless director.
I thought
That
her-
was what it says on the legal documents.
I
thought
think
she
that
was
must have been
married
her
to Ralph
contact in the
Reed.
movies. Yeah.
Okay, Jay, can I just interject that when we did the first session with you, you warned me, Porter, I don't go over 15 minutes. And you had your lozenges at the ready, and you've just
Well-
gone for about an hour. So does that mean you've got a revitalized?
I got one more question. If you did have a service for Jim, was it going to be in the church that he used to go to, or is it on the ocean, or is it?
Well,
where is it?
probably in the church, but the minister totally shut the door on the idea
She did.
until further notice. No, I don't want to finish the sentence. She
Oh,
just,
you mean because of COVID?
yeah, first thing out of her mouth was, Porter, the church has been shut down since March. So it was like a dead issue. And then I said, well, we're thinking about 2021. And she says, well, frankly, if we're still, really like defeatist, frankly, if we're still around, those kinds of things. So I just quit.
Yeah.
And then she called me when I was driving home from Niagara Falls, and she says, "Hey, what's your email address? I want to send you this notice because your dad's going to get honorable mention in some presentation." And she's too slow. I mean, so Sally and Doug said, what does that mean? And I said, I think it's when a member of the church passes away, they mention them like one sentence.
Yeah.
So I thought that was going to be cool. But then after I talked to her, I was in my car at the time. I emailed her. I said, hey, I remember you said you're going to send me something. She said, don't worry, it's coming. And she didn't. It's like a week. The reason I'm telling you this, Jay, is it's about a week away from when she said it's going to happen. And I was going to flip it. I was going to flip it to you.
Well, the only reason I mentioned that was I know she was very helpful when
she's overwhelmed. She's overwhelmed. I could tell.
Yeah.
Like the church is like, like the whole church is turned upside down.
Yeah.
I could, but
okay, you guys. Well, listen, I've got to get on the way to Oxnard here, so I'm gonna have to leave you and start on my cookies. But if I ever think of any more memories, I'll let you know, Porter.
Okay, sounds good.
And Linda, as soon as you get the trophy, Linda, let me know.
So in other words, don't call him, he'll call you.
And I still want to meet Kate, okay?
Yes, if I can catch her. If she slows down long enough, I'll try to get her on the camera, but she's very elusive.
I told you.
Lucid or elusive?
Scott,
or both.
Scott, just tell her that in 1945, I dated a lady from the New York City Ballet. What do you think of that? Well, I told you that story, didn't I?
I'm saving it. I will drop that on her before I intro you. It'll be part of your introduction when you actually meet her online.
We'll see. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. We'll see you guys later.
Are you keeping it open for a minute? Bye, Jay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yes, I will.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Bye. Porter,
how do I turn this thing off?
I thought we'd never get rid of him. Come on.
Grandpa, click the screen.
I don't know how to turn it off.
Wait, listen.
At the bottom, at the top, stop video.
I'm not any better.
Leave meeting.
I'm
Leave meeting.
all the way over to it says enter your password.
No. Leave. You do it, Catherine. Tell him. Got it.
It's a red
19.
button in the upper left-hand corner. Tap the screen.
Hey, there, I got you back. How do I shut it off?
Click leave
Are you
meeting.
back from Oxnard?
It's red.
Catherine, you have to send me that step-by-step again. I accidentally deleted it.
Yeah, just
All right.
listen.
Are you listening?
Tap the screen.
Listen to me, sir.
Hey,
For
there's
God's
a red
sake.
thing up here
Stop
says
talking.
leave.
Yes.
Bye.
That's it.
He was getting a second wind.
Yeah, we're back.
Start singing songs. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, it was nice to see you guys.
Great
Yeah,
to see you
yes.
too, and meet Catherine.
As an added bonus, we recorded it and we're going to post it, by the way.
Oh no! Whoa.
Aren't you glad you didn't curse?
What about the rights?
Jay tells me to be quiet.
I didn't sign a waiver. I don't know if you can use my image. I am a member of several unions, professional.
I'm
stage
not.
and screen unions.
Oh, YouTube will deal harshly for that. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's going to be posted.
So
I have a question for Porter.
Yes.
Are you going to do Doug and Sally in one of these?
I don't know yet. I never planned to do even 3 of them. It just kind of like happened. So
We'll see.
I think I want to get the photos scanned. That's the next big thing. Plus a bunch of other just legal stuff related to Dad's, his personal belongings and stuff. I think we got the gist of it. I think it would. I'll just play it by ear. If everybody says, "Hey, there's more to talk about," of course I'll
Well, you
arrange
can
it.
do all different branches of the family. You can.
Yeah.
You can get the Faris point of view of the Blackburn clan. Brooks
Oh.
has an amazing memory. He retains trivia like nobody I've ever seen before, except for our father. He has this amazing ability. That's if you can capture him. You can't catch Brooks. He's always
Why is that? Why?
he's,
Why?
he's in the Oregonian equivalent of Oxnard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so. But do you think he'd be interested or not?
Oh, he's always interested in show business.
Yeah, if he can
Oh.
perform, he'll be interested. He's
Okay. Could he play the trumpet or what? Do you think?
probably the flute. But
Maybe. Oh, but I thought he was too busy to do a session though. But he's not. Here's what you're saying, right?
I don't think he's too busy.
Okay.
his house
I
is a
don't know
circus
how
with all his kids there, and he's got a grandkid living there. It's quite a party. And now they're on their camping phase.
So do you want me to ask him or just not now?
I think we need to approach him through a third party.
Really? Our people will call his people.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe a 3-picture deal.
We're going to have to float the idea, launch a trial balloon, see if it floats, and see where it
you
goes.
know what I think Brooks is going to remember? The early years with Gasser, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
That's
he'll
what
have some
Brooks
good-
focuses on. But
Well,
I don't think he kept in touch after he went to Oregon that much, at least with Jim.
No, but yeah, be early years.
So
Yeah.
Nancy and company, here's my question. If Jay can all of a sudden go from 15 minutes to 60 minutes, is that a good sign that his energy level is like really good? Or what do you think? Because that was, I wasn't joking. He told me that really seriously. He's, Porter, I can't go more than 15 minutes and we're going to hold the line there. And now he just goes on for an hour.
He had a pacemaker put in.
Okay.
Not because of his energy.
He's like the Energizer Bunny.
Voice is gonna get all gravelly, and
Okay.
he may need a bathroom break.
Okay.
So he's just hedging his bets. It's not because
You got to build those in, host. You got to build those in, a breakdown to the
Yes.
Zoom world. So think about it if you're passing it.
yes.
We had a meeting today for school. This thing I told you about in the beginning. Linda, you missed out in the beginning because you were fighting your way in. We were talking to potential kids, and we took a break after 45 minutes, gave them a 5 so they could all regroup and go pee. Because it's hard to be trapped on Zoom for hours at a time.
Right.
Linda's first entry into Zoom.
So yeah, Linda, were you comfortable with this whole rigmarole?
Well, once I got on.
Good. Okay.
It was fine. I was like, Jay, this is foreign to me. And Bruno, remoted my computer, so I didn't really know what we were doing.
Right. Yeah. Bruno used Team View, Scott. I thought it was a pretty clever idea. So he used Team View so we could see her in Zoom. So I think without Bruno, it would have been choppy waters. So I thought he was so good. I was relieved when he said, yeah, sure, I'll talk to Linda, because he didn't know you from Adam.
Well, Bruno's a major player in this family thing now.
But he didn't have to, because he knew exactly what he was doing. He just did it and said, hang on, now I'm going to go into your computer. Done.
Did he call you Miss Linda? Did he call you Miss Linda?
Yes, and I called him Miss Bruno.
Mr. Bruno.
Is it snowing where you are, Nancy?
Oh yeah. Still snowing. It's been snowing all day. I have a foot of snow.
First one of the season? First snow?
No, we had one a couple of weeks ago also.
Wow.
Are the
But
fires
this one
like
is
you?
huge.
Yeah, you had fires in Colorado too, right?
Yeah, we had fires. Dad and I were both considering taking in evacuees, but then it got close enough that we might have had to evacuate ourselves, not because we were in danger of fire, but the smoke was so bad that.
Yeah. The smoke was totally, it was unhealthful for Paul and Brooks during the peak of their fires. I mean, you couldn't go outside, and Paul had just come out of this nursing facility. He was staying with friends, but he said he had these windows that sealed, so they were sort of isolated. I don't know about
The fire
Brooks.
was close to Brooks's house, 15 miles away, they said.
They were evacuating places nearby where Brooks lives.
And you don't have smoke where you are, Scott?
I was escaping, when we talked the last time, I was in La Jolla, which is down by San Diego and right near the beach. So there was a fire inland, but the pollution, there's no threat to us. And the air quality was poor for the beach, but not by standards. It was like 116, whereas normal is like 50 parts per million or whatever it is they measure by. Paul and Brooks was like 350 or something, which is absolutely.
Oh.
So now I'm back in LA, but we haven't had fires near here since we've been back. So nothing.
I don't have any fires here.
Yeah, you're
No.
lucky.
No, we had a really bad one a few years ago when I first moved over, and 19 hotshot firefighters died. They
Oh,
were-
that's right.
yeah, they were in the
That memorial's only a couple miles from Linda's house where they.
Yeah.
they
It's
perished.
quite a hike too. I haven't done it. I've just heard about it. You know,
Wow.
Linda, what town are you in?
I'm actually in an unincorporated area called Peoples Valley. And close to me is at the foot of the hill, there's I don't know what you call it. It's like not a switchback. What would you call it? But anyway, at the foot of the hill is Congress. That's a little town. But it's a lot of cowboys.
And Peoples is spelled P-E-E-P, not like.
Yeah, PE.
Oh.
About 750 people, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
That's
good.
small.
I gotta get out of here.
It's amazing. I drove over there on a road trip. Kate and Finn were in Australia. They, holidays, because that's middle of summer in Australia at Christmas time. So I drove to see Linda. I think it was wasn't it after Christmas, Linda? I came over.
Yeah, it was January.
I had a great time, driving the back roads across the desert and getting to Linda. It was really stark and beautiful in the winter. And where she is very dramatic and beautiful. But let me tell you, no humans. There's no.
No, I went from humans everywhere my entire life, and knowing a lot of people because we were very small in the 60s when I was growing up, to coming over here where, I couldn't even there were no part-time jobs. I wanted to do something a couple days a week that paid. It was all volunteer. The community center, the lunchroom. No, I don't want that. So it's different. We have deer, 13 to 15 deer in the front yard every day. And
Be careful about the ticks.
huh?
What did you say? Deer?
Yeah, deer.
Yeah,
A lot.
ticks. Watch out.
Oh no, they're nice deer.
Yeah, even the nice ones.
Well, they come in and eat with us.
Well,
Florida's in Connecticut where Lyme disease came from.
Well, I don't have
Deer-
Lyme disease yet, for
I don't think we have that in West Porter. We don't have the
Yeah,
Lyme disease. It's
I
like-
haven't heard of any cases over here.
no, you see a deer and you say, "Oh, must be related to Bambi." It's like totally false. They're just like the
Never
worst.
say that.
Okay. Well, be
They're somehow
careful.
related to Bambi, aren't they? I mean,
It must be related to Bambi's mother.
I don't know, but it's
Well,
just
I'm
the Lyme disease is the most atrociously awful thing. Those little
You've
critters
had
that no, but I just know. Like you reach up in your head and you realize there's a bug living up there.
A bug.
Terrible.
yeah,
Have
that's
you seen
that's
those
inside my head.
spiders?
It's like from Night Gallery with Rod Serling. It's like an episode of Night Gallery. It's spooky.
Those
It's
flying
weird.
spiders are bad.
It's weird
I
that
hate flying spiders.
Linda stayed in our hometown longer than anybody else in our family. So when she finally moves, it's weird if you go down to that town and Linda's not living there. It's nature's out of balance.
Do you still have the little Honda vehicle, Linda?
No, Porter, you're about 20 years.
No. You bought a Honda. You're off of the Honda kick.
I have a new SUV Honda from 2018, but I had a Honda Accord that
All right.
Mom Bob sold me for an exorbitant amount of money.
Linda buys and sells more cars than anybody I know. I have one of her.
It's her side gig. Keep it hush hush. She has a whole parking lot full of vehicles.
It's my dream.
You stick words like the word clean on them, you know. This vehicle is so clean.
One owner, you know, one owner.
Only one owner.
Hey, let me bring something to your attention, Porter Blackburn. What
Yes.
about that Sentra that you drove for 30 years? It had a
I
door-
can't say enough good things about it. I could drive it till it was molten steel.
Was
But
it missing a door?
oh no. It was a screwed up door. I know what you're talking about because it got hit by a cab one time.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was the door instead of my head.
Yeah,
That was a close call.
that had a bug in it.
Too. Hey, I have to go play Xbox with my
All right.
Yeah. Okay, we're signing off now.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
organizing.
organizing. It was nice to see you guys.
Same
Yeah,
here.
it was fun.
Fantastic.
Very
Linda,
good.
congratulations on your first convo. Catherine,
Yeah.
I hope you out in the working world. And you can teach me how to teach soon because I really.
Okay.
Um,
I'm clicking the end button.
Okay,
Well,
bye.
Bye bye.
bye.